Hi there, I'm Cassidy, and thank you so much for joining me for this Yoga for Golfers class today. We'll keep this class pretty short and sweet, so you can do this before you hit the course or just any time you want to stretch and strengthen. We'll be focusing on opening up the shoulders and the hips to build some mobility, finding some twists that can help you with your swing, and finding a sense of mindfulness and presence that you can carry with you onto the course. If you enjoy today's class, make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe to my channel to try out some more free yoga classes. Let's get started. So we'll begin our practice today in just a comfortable seated position. So I'll be sitting cross-legged, but if that's not comfortable for you, you don't want to be up and down the whole time, you're welcome to find this seated portion of our class sitting in a chair, or maybe you just adjust to find a seated position that feels comfortable for you. So if you want to bring a blanket or a cushion underneath the seat, this is flexible, and I'd encourage you to make modifications that really will make this practice feel best in your body. So if something doesn't feel good, feel free to replace it or change it up to make it feel good for you. So once you find that comfortable seated position, just roll the shoulders back. Chest is nice and open, and we're sitting up nice and tall. Begin to close the eyes. And let's just take a couple deep breaths, finding a sense of awareness of this space and this practice today. Trying to put any distractions aside so we can just be fully here for the next 20 minutes. And usually in yoga, we try to take deep breaths in and out through the nose. And you can start to blink the eyes open. And from here, we're just going to bring the chin down to meet the chest. And then the right ear over to the right shoulder. Chin to chest. And left ear to the left shoulder. Chin to chest, and take one big circle towards the right. Taking this nice and slow. If there's anywhere you're feeling tension, you can pause and take a deep breath. Once you reach the center, we'll switch directions, taking one full circle towards the left, taking your time to finish this up. And then just coming back to that nice, tall, seated position when you're done. And from here, let's start to roll the shoulders forward. So making nice big circles, really exaggerating this. Good, let's take one more towards the front. And then switch directions, begin to circle the shoulders back. One more. And just return to stillness. From here, we're going to take just the right arm, and we're going to make one big circle towards the back, and just keep that going. So full circles with the right arm, exploring that full range of motion. And stop once you reach the center. Let's switch directions, bringing that circle forward. Good. Breathing through this and release. Let's find that on the other side. So starting by circling the left arm back. Nice big circles. And try to notice the differences between the sides of the body. Once you reach the center, switch directions. So really just trying to build an awareness of the body. And you might notice this in your golf game as well, that the sides are a little uneven. So in yoga, we really want to try to balance that out, and everything we'll be doing today will be on both sides. So just return to stillness. Take an inhale, reach the arms all the way up, keeping the shoulders nice and relaxed. And then we're going to bring the left hand to the outside of the left knee. The right hand comes behind us. Good. Gaze comes off to the side or the back. And if you're sitting in a chair, You can do this by just placing that back hand on the back of your chair. Let's take one big inhale. Exhale, maybe you twist a little bit deeper. Inhale, return to center, reach both arms up. Good. Exhale, right hand to the outside of the left knee, and the left hand comes behind you for a twist. And in our twist, we want to make sure we're still lengthening through the head, sitting up tall. Take one more inhale. Exhale, twist a little bit deeper. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Exhale, and just release the hands by the sides. From here, we're going to take the hands behind the back and interlace the fingers. Good. With your next breath in, open up the chest. So tilting the head so that we're looking up a little bit, really feeling that space opening up. Take one big inhale. Exhale, release the hands, shake it out a little bit. Good. Take an inhale, arms reach back up. On our exhale, we're going to bring the right hand to the center of the back, and then using the left hand to grab onto the right elbow. And then just gently tuck the chin. Take an inhale and exhale. One more inhale. Exhale, unwind, shake the arms out, and let's find that stretch on the other side. So extending both arms straight up to the ceiling or the sky. And then this time the left hand will come to the center of the back. Right hand grabs onto the left elbow and a slight tuck with the chin. Take one deep breath here. And just start to unwind. Maybe you shake it out. And we'll find one more stretch here to open up the shoulders. So we'll be moving into eagle arms. So start by just extending both arms out long in front of you, parallel to one another, palms are facing in, and then bend at the elbows. From here, we're going to take the right arm and cross it under the left, and then twisting them around. So maybe you find something to grab onto, so maybe you're grabbing onto the left thumb or the wrist. And if this is not feeling good in your body, you can just give yourself a hug instead. It'll have the same effect on opening up the shoulders. If you are in those eagle arms, maybe you want to think about lifting the hands and the arms away from the face, away from the body. And that'll just help to intensify this stretch, this opening a little bit. So let's take one more inhale. Exhale, release the arms. And let's try that on the other side. So reaching in front of you and then bending at the elbows. This time we'll bring the left arm under the right, twisting around. And if you're doing our alternative today, which is just giving yourself a hug, you want to make sure that you have a different hand on top this time. Good. So wherever you're at, feeling that opening through the shoulders, let's take one deep breath. And release the hands by the sides. We're going to be moving into tabletop, onto our hands and knees. And I do want to note here that if you're feeling some pressure on the knees, you're welcome to fold up your yoga mat, or if you're not on a yoga mat today, you can take a blanket or a towel and place it under the knees to just release some of that pressure. There's no reason to feel any sort of pain in our practice today. So just make this comfortable for you. Good. With your next inhale, we're going to drop the belly and look up. This is our cow pose. Exhale, round the spine, press the ground away from you, look to the belly button. This is our cat pose. Take an inhale for cow and an exhale for cat. Let's try 2 more rounds of that. Inhale, drop the belly for cow. Exhale, round the spine for cat. Once more, just take this on your own breath. And as you finish up, just meeting back in our tabletop. From here, left hand is going to plant. You could bring it a little bit closer to the center of your body in front of the face. And take an inhale, sweep open with the right arm. Take an inhale. And on our exhale, we're going to thread the right arm in between the left, so under that left armpit. Left temple rests on the mat. This is our thread the needle stretch. You should feel this stretch through the shoulder. Take a big inhale. And exhale. Good. Plant that left hand. Take an inhale, spin open with the right. Exhale, just coming back to tabletop. So let's find that stretch on the other side. So right hand plants. Take an inhale and spin open with the left. Exhale, we're going to thread the needle under the right armpit. An option here as well, you can start to walk that right hand towards the front of the room, a little bit further ahead of you. Take an inhale and exhale. Good. Right hand plants. Take an inhale, spin open with the left. Biggest stretch today. And exhale, come back to tabletop. From here, we're going to bring the right foot out to the side, so bending at the knee, creating kind of a 90-degree bend in the knee actually. And the right toes are facing out to the side. So you might be feeling this stretch a little bit already, but let's just start to circle around the hips a little bit here. Just really starting to find a nice opening through the hips. And a lot of that hip tension is kind of wound up with some lower back pain. Good. And then just return to tabletop. Let's find that on the other side. So left foot comes out to the side, toes point out. And then just start to stir up the hips a little bit. Just starting to work into some of that tension, some of those tighter spaces in the body. And then just come back to tabletop. From tabletop, let's tuck the toes and press the hips up and back, finding our downward facing dog. And if this is your first time doing yoga and you're like, oh, this doesn't feel very good, that is okay. So there's a couple things you can try here. You want to make sure that you're bending the knees a little bit, and maybe you take a deeper bend in the knees, just kind of playing with that to see what feels good for you. You can also try spreading the feet farther apart or bringing them a little closer together. But we want the ears right in between the biceps. The fingertips are pressing into the mat. And we're lifting through the tailbone. So this is our down dog. So just start to bend into one knee at a time. Stretching out through the backs of the legs. We won't be here too long. Take an inhale. And on your exhale, just step the feet to meet the hands, coming into our forward fold. And you can take as many steps as you need to get there. So once again, in our forward fold, feel free to keep the knees bent. I'd recommend having a little micro bend in the knees, but you can feel free to bend them as much as feels good for you. And in this pose, you want to let the head and the neck just hang heavy. Good. Take an inhale, bring the hands to the shins and lengthen the spine. This is our halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Inhale, rise all the way up, lift the arms. Exhale, release the hands by the sides, coming into our mountain pose. So relax the shoulders away from the ears, close the eyes. We're grounding through all four corners of both feet. The head is lifted, the core is engaged. Let's take one deep breath. Inhale and exhale. Good. Start to open the eyes, pouring some weight over into the left foot. And we're going to lift the right leg, bending at the knee and finding our high march, just finding some balance. Take one inhale. Exhale to release that leg. Let's switch sides, starting to ground into the right foot, using the core to lift that left leg. High march, take an inhale. Exhale, release that left foot back to the mat. Take an inhale, reach both arms all the way up. Exhale to forward fold. From here, let's step the right foot back, finding our low lunge. So once you're here, chest is lifted, and start to just rock around on the ball of that back foot a little bit. Take an inhale, exhale, and drop that back knee. Once again, maybe you place a blanket or a towel under the right knee just for some extra support to take away some of that pressure. Take an inhale, reach the arms all the way up. This is our crescent moon, starting to open up the hips. Take an inhale. Exhale, plant the hands. We'll shift the hips back and flex the front foot for half splits. Good. Inhale, come back to your crescent moon. We're going to leave the hands on the mat. Right hand will stay planted. Take an inhale and spin open with the left for a twist. Option to pop that back knee up if you're looking for a little bit of a challenge. Take an inhale. Exhale. When we bring that left hand down, let's place both hands inside of the left foot. So this is our lizard pose, and you can just heel toe that left foot a little bit closer to the edge of the mat or a little bit further out to the side. And so really getting this nice opening through the hips here. You can stay here or you can lower down onto the forearms if you'd like. Let's just take one more breath here. And then reframe that front foot with the hands, pop the back knee up for low lunge, and then step into your forward fold. Good, letting the head hang nice and heavy. And we'll find that sequence once more on the other side. So this time we're going to step the left foot back behind us for low lunge. Chest is lifted, starting to just build some strength through the legs, rock around a little bit here. And then drop that back knee. Take an inhale, reach the arms up, shoulders are relaxed. Exhale, plant the hands, shift the hips back, and flex the front foot for half splits. Maybe you even start to walk the hands a little bit further forward, and once again here, noticing those differences between the first side and now this side. Take an inhale to come back to your crescent moon. This time, the left hand is going to plant, and on your inhale, spin open with the right for a twist. Take one more inhale here. On your exhale, planting both hands inside of the right foot, coming into our lizard pose, heel toeing the right foot a little further to the side. Maybe releasing onto the forearms. And just take one breath on your own here. Good. Start to reframe that front foot with the hands. Pop the back knee up for low lunge. And then just step to forward fold. And from our forward fold, we'll just drop both knees, coming back into tabletop. From our tabletop, we're going to leave the hips right above the knees, so right where they are, and just start to walk the hands forward. So we're coming into puppy pose. So in our puppy pose, you can either have the forehead on the mat or rest the chin on the mat to intensify a little bit. Let's take one more inhale and exhale. Start to rise back into your tabletop and then just making your way into a seated position. Legs are going to be long in front of you. Take an inhale, reach the arms up, flex the feet. Exhale, keep a nice flat back as you find a seated forward fold. And you can have the knees bent here as well, just like in our standing forward fold. Let's take one big inhale. Exhale to settle in. Good. Inhale, rise back up, and then just roll all the way down onto the back. Hug the knees into the chest. You can rock side to side. giving yourself a little back massage. And then just allow both knees to fall off towards the left. Right hand comes out to the side, head looks to the right. Shoulders stay planted on the mat. Maybe you want to bring the left hand on top of the knees. And this is our supine twist. So just take one deep breath here, letting yourself settle in. And then hug both knees back into the chest. And we'll find that on the other side, so dropping both knees off to the right. Left hand comes out to the side, head looks to the left, shoulders stay planted. And take a deep breath here. Remembering that if you like these poses that we're doing today, feel free to come back to them at any time. Maybe you start to work some of these things into a stretching routine before you go to the golf course or after, or maybe just into your daily life. So hug both knees back into the chest, and then we'll just extend the legs long. Release the hands by the sides, just laying down. And this is our final resting pose today, Shavasana. And we like to spend just a little bit of time in our practice just lying here in stillness, soaking it all in. And we don't take time very often to just be still and truly relax. And as an athlete, you might not be used to this kind of rest. And it might be tempting to skip Shavasana, but I would encourage you to stay here just a little bit longer and relax. Setting the thoughts and to-do lists aside for just a bit longer. And if you're enjoying this or you feel like you really need this rest, you can even pause the video and stick around for a while longer. But as you feel ready, reach the arms overhead and take a nice full body stretch like you're waking up in the morning. And then roll onto either side, using your arm as a pillow. And then just gently make your way into a seated position, whatever feels comfortable for you. Thank you so much for joining me for this yoga class today. And if you enjoyed today's practice, be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Also, be sure to let me know in the comments if you felt like this made a difference on the golf course. And have a great rest of your day.